breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alert.
Texas Governor Abbott just pissed off Obama with incredible gift he gave President Trump. The mainstream media has been ready to condemn President Trump for his response to Hurricane Harvey. Even before the storm hit the state of Texas, liberal talking heads were already saying he would be a failure. They have attempted to spin Trump's reaction to the devastating storm as inadequate and incompetent. However, not everyone feels that way about the president's response, including Governor Greg Abbott, and what he had to say most certainly will anger Barack Obama and his loyal followers. The left is always in attack mode, ready to pounce on President Trump and his supporters. That is evident in the recent catastrophe of Hurricane Harvey that has left many people dead and thousands homeless. As people around the country and in the great state Texas are banding together to help those in need, the left is only looking to criticize. These hateful leftists have tried to paint President Trump a weak, uncaring, and slow to help the thousands of Americans suffering. To prove their misguided point, they began to share a photo of Barack Obama helping so-called victims of Hurricane Harvey. However, their powers of observation were just as strong as their intellect, and that isn't saying much. It doesn't take a genius to notice that this photo was not taken in late August after a hurricane in Texas. Amanda Shea of Freedom Daily reported on this liberal lie yesterday in this compelling report. It looked great and felt even better to liberals desperate for something to shove in the faces of every Trump supporter for why Obama is better than he is. The caption even proved that point, with the original poster saying, "Something you'll never see Trump do, Obama is in Texas serving meals." What's funny, or perhaps sad, if we're talking about how incredibly gullible, desperate liberals are, is that by blasting this picture they proved the opposite point they thought they were making. The internet never fails to politicize natural disasters and troll President Trump, the Daily Caller pointed out in explaining that the viral picture of Obama allegedly helping Hurricane Harvey victims wasn't taken in Texas and wasn't even taken this year. This photo of Obama was actually from 2015 when he was serving Thanksgiving dinner at a homeless shelter, the news site pointed out. The tweet had enough time to go viral, however, receiving close to 15,000 likes and almost 8,000 retweets today. And, that is not all of it either, folks. The left would love to tout that Barack Obama was a man of action during natural disasters when he was president, but let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we? During the catastrophic flooding that occurred last August in Louisiana, Obama was nowhere to be seen. In fact, the then commander-in-chief was busy hitting golf balls at a posh resort instead of attending to his citizens' needs. Prissy Holly from Freedom Daily wrote, "To adequately paint the picture of Obama's disgusting antics, let's take a quick rewind back in history. In August of last year, while Obama was in office, prolonged rainfall resulted in catastrophic flooding across the state of Louisiana that submerged thousands of houses and business, leaving 40,000 Louisiana residents completely homeless. Louisiana's Governor John Bel Edwards called the disaster a historic, unprecedented flooding event, declaring a state of emergency for the floods that tragically took the lives of 13 people. The good, hard-working people of Louisiana waited and waited to hear their president extend his condolences and pay their suffering community a visit. But Obama was nowhere to be found. The plight of suffering Louisianians was the last thing on Obama's list of priorities, as he continued to whack golf balls and vacation at his exclusive posh resort. Of course, the left would love to soon forget those truths, and you can bet your sweet bippy they also aren't going to like what Governor Abbott had to say about President Trump. Here is more from Free Beacon. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, R., gave President Donald Trump's administration an A+ on its response to Hurricane Harvey during a press briefing Monday. At the briefing, a reporter asked Abbott how he would grade the federal government's response to the hurricane so far. The state of Texas has been dealing with the federal government for about 7 to 10 days, at least, before the hurricane hit, Abbott said. "I've spoken with the president on multiple occasions, with his cabinet members, and I would have to grade the federal government's response as an A+. Abbott said that in addition to the president, He has spoken with multiple cabinet members including Secretary of Health and Human Services Tom Price, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Elaine Duke, and FEMA Administrator Brock Long. This is, if not the largest, it has to be categorized as one of the largest disasters America has ever faced, Abbott said. And to see the swift response from the federal government is pretty much unparalleled. Although Abbott is grateful for the response by the federal government so far, he acknowledged they are still early in the process, and said the current level of support, assistance, and response must be maintained. The president will travel to Texas on Tuesday to assess the aftermath of the storm, and to discuss logistics with state and local officials.
The city of Houston on that.
Governor,
Sure.
It's obviously still a work in progress, and this is an ongoing situation, but so far, how would you grade the government response?
Well, the state of Texas has been dealing with the federal government for about 7 to 10 days at least before the hurricane hit, on a daily basis, frequently multiple times during the day. I've spoken with the president on multiple occasions, with his cabinet members ranging from the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Homeland Security, Transportation, Energy. I'm leaving some out, but also the FEMA Administrator. And I would have to grade the federal government's response as an A+. This is, if not the largest, has to be categorized as one of the largest disasters America has ever faced. And to see the swift response from the federal government is pretty much unparalleled. And so we are grateful for what's happened so far, but we know we're still early in the process. We need to maintain this. But a second component of it is the way that leaders at the local level have responded. These are people who are living off of just a few hours of sleep a night, and they have one concern, and that is for the men and women they represent in their towns and counties, and is because of their commitment to the people they represent that coupled with the federal government's response that we are doing as well as we are.
The Houston area is in bad shape and it may get worse before it gets better, but it is very reassuring to have President Trump at the helm during this disaster. President Trump has been right there every step of the way to ensure that Texas has everything they need to get back on track. That is what a leader does, and that is exactly needed in this country to make America great again. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.